This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
Good evening and welcome to the Going Off Grid. I still gotta get that straight in my brain. Episode 8. I don't even know what day it is, y'all. I know it's Monday. What is it, April? Are we in April? April 6th? Wow. I think it was March last time we had an episode. Anyway, Bender here along with Crypto Queen as my co-host. And yeah, we've got some interesting things tonight. For those out there listening in podcast land, a few things. We do these spaces live here on X, formerly known as Twitter. I still like to call it Twitter. But yeah, so we run into some technical difficulties, issues, all kinds of things in that regard. And yeah, so if you're out there listening to podcast land, I'm working through all the new technical stuff, and I'll kind of get a little bit more of that later with everything. But like, for example, we're going to skip episode 5 altogether because the space has crashed, and it's a 2-part series, and I'm not going back to redo it. Episode 6, for example, I think we had to redo that one a few times with everything too. So just if you're out there listening to podcast land and you just wonder why things go awry some weeks, you're just getting it all raw and uncut. Queen, let's see here. Can we get you back up as listener? You have some issues, speaking of spaces, technical difficulties. Thanks for everybody coming in. Shout out to Zach, Subway, Barkoshi. Thank y'all for coming in tonight too. Let's see. I might as well, while I am on here, hopefully we can get Queen connected here soon. I'm just going to go ahead and get the disclaimer out the way. This is not financial advice. You can lose all your money investing. This is also not for educational or entertainment purposes. I nor anyone that is speaking is a financial, political, legal, medical, betting, or any type of expert advisor. These are our thoughts and opinions on different topics only. This is being recorded for future rebroadcasts and clips on other platforms. Thank you. And appreciate it. Let's see here.
Can you hear me,
Queen, do we
Bender?
have you up there? Oh, I can hear you now.
Okay, awesome. I don't know how long I'm up for, but I'm up. Hey, everybody.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. Got a little post-Easter hangover and energy, but I'm going to hang in there. I'm going to try to accept this co-host, okay?
All right. Let's see how it works today. So, Queen, while you're doing that, I'm just waiting for the room to fill up here a little bit too. Thank you, Julie, for coming in. Also, Death with Script, I see you. So
Bender,
I
first of
want to admit,
all, I'm just going to interrupt here and say, how did this get to be a AMA? Like, how did this get to be Ask Me Anything? I don't think we agreed on that or talked about that.
we did not. I was actually getting ready to explain that. That's what I was getting ready to do. So follow me on this. This is kind of wild. So last week, for anybody that was listening, I kind of had a meltdown on the AI. Like, I wasn't going at Mr. Lightspeed. I was just kind of more on my soapbox per se, and I just kind of thought about it, throughout the week, and it was actually something from crypto, and it was, to paraphrase it, like, quit fighting the trends. Like, if the market's going up, go up with the market. If the market's going down, just go down with the market. Just follow the trends. And yeah, so I was sitting here all this week, and I was just like, and I'm full backstory on this. I'm a Gemini, and we're world renowned change of disruptions and chaos. Just I'll give you all a couple examples here. Tupac and Donald Trump were like Gemini, so like it's, and then on top of that, I'm an empath too, so I feel things coming. So like AI's got to make it real long story short, it's got my spidey senses up like when COVID hit. In terms of just I'm on full alert. So anyway, I'm just watching, I mean, like, and I'm not trying to be funny about it, but like the Epstein class, like, runs AI, so like I just, I know it has good things, but I know why it's being rolled out. But it's got good things, I'm using AI. So anyway, I this week I said, I'm gonna step back, I'm gonna detach for a minute. Maybe I was going a little too. Maybe I'm just going down the AI rabbit hole a little too fast. And of course, then the algorithms just start sending me stuff where people are fighting the city councils not to get data centers built. It's like getting carried out by police. It's crazy. But anyway, yeah. So, but I'm still there, and I'm like, you know what? Number two. I'm on X, I'm an Android guy. Here I am, again, why fight the trend, just, it's not like the devs at X are listening and they're just like, yeah, let's cater to the Droid people. They don't care. They just keep rolling it out and whatever. And I said, you know what? I'm just solving all the issues this week. I started researching Queen, and I'm researching, and I'm looking for. I don't want a phone, but I'm looking for an iPad. I was just going to find a cheap pre-owned one, and the AI, ironically, the Droid one just talked me up. And long story short, I caught a brand new one on sale that had all the upgrades. That was $50 more than the ones I had been seeing refurbished online. I go get it. I say, I got AI. I'm up to date. I got the iPad. I'm up to date. I'm going to get on Spaces with my iPad and my AI. I'm just going to just go with the trends this week. So I'm sitting here setting up everything. I'm right here to the final thing, right before the space starts here, about a half hour into it. It's not bringing up not near a one of the Bluetooth devices. And I was just on tech support for the last 10 minutes.
Oh, no,
So
Bender.
that's been kind of my thing. But the iPad's really nice. So I'm like, all right, I'm not going to get frustrated. Like, like my Android just brings up too many devices. I got to go through all the devices and find the one I wanted to pair. This one's bringing up none. But I'm like, you know what? It's new. There might be an issue. I might be out of date. I don't know. We're going to troubleshoot when I get off here. Like, maybe today wasn't the day to start. Whatever. But anyway, back to your question. So how this all ties in. So when I was going through this at the beginning of the week, I was like, all right, I need to take a step back. I need to touch some grass. Queen's going to just host. Like, I shouldn't even host. Like, I was just like there. And then I didn't get a chance to talk to you throughout the week. And I was like, no, I probably shouldn't just let her know she's just going to host through like a text. So I'm telling you this week, next week, you'll be hosting, by the way. But I was thinking, like, what would be cool, because I don't really have any subjects really to go off of this week personally myself. I just got some headlines I want to read. Like, we're just going to do a Queen AMA. Then I thought about it after I put the tweet out, Queen, just to be honest. And I was like, well, this is Twitter and people are crazy. So maybe we should just confine it, if it is an AMA, to crypto related questions, because we probably will get some crazy questions if people come up, and just are literally legit and able to ask you anything. So that's kind of how that all started and led up to this point. I went through a lot this week, but it ended with an iPad that can't play a Bluetooth and a revised version of your AMA. How's that?
Sorry, I was having to take a screenshot of Nikita's post since he blocked me to pop it in the nest.
No.
Yeah, I don't know, Bender. I don't really think our audience, I think they've already heard AMAs from me and just really have really heard it all. So I think an AMA of you would be better. And I think you are the host the most, and I'm just the co host. So I don't really love the ideas, just to be honest.
Well, I'll give you an example of what I had in mind before I really thought about it. Like, example, Queen, my life is a hot mess. No other context. How do I fix it?
Oh my gosh. How can I fix your life? I can't even fix mine, Bender. My gosh.
See, that's the kind of answers people want the real raw answer. I'm just kidding.
We're going to need to have someone up here who has their life together.
Right.
Come on, Zach.
If you got your
Come on,
life together,
Zephyrus.
come on up. Yeah. If you got your life together, come up this week because I'm I can't get my brand new iPad to work right. I can't get it connected to YouTube, y'all. It's like I just gave in. I'm so hyped too, Queen. I'm like, yeah, I'm touching music soundboards this week. I'm doing all the X stuff. In the AI was telling me all the stuff I was missing from the Droid. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. I drove to a small town and got this on discount because it was the only one left in my area that was new and available. It was literally the last one because they've all been selling out because a new version just popped off. And let me tell y'all, I mean, I was literally out at 6:30 this morning driving, trying to. At the first store, I thought I had reserved it, and I got there, and they were like, "Yeah, bro, just the website's just trash. Like, we don't even have it." And I was like, "Great." So there was one other store, and I called them, and the poor lady had to run all the way back to the electronics department. She's like, "Yes, sir, we got in stock, sir. I'll just have it reserved for you." And like literally the last one in the city, and it just doesn't pair Bluetooth. It's incredible.
That's just your luck, too.
Right. But like I said, for $50 more, I got a brand new one versus one that who knows what happened to it and why it's refurbished. So I really can't complain. Um, it went from a 90-day to a year warranty, so I'm really not going to complain. Queen, what you got on? I'm sorry. What's Trench Lessons? Help me out here. I got headlines tonight, y'all. I'm just going to do some random headlines, no context. I think they kind of speak for themselves, but they're pretty wild. But Queen, you
Yeah, they
go
are
first before I go
wild.
through
We
all
got
that.
lots of hack stuff. I'm interested to talk about that. But yeah, so lessons from the trenches this week is lesson 7. We're going to talk about the title is "Listen to the Silence." So, spotting the early warning signs of a fading community. And we all know this very well, but they're just kind of bullet points that I wanted to expand upon. And it's not one particular community, but just a kind of general observations from community fall offs. Just kind of some things that you'll see like dead Discord and Telegram chats, low X engagement, DAO voter apathy, repetitive gripes, contributors ghosting, stalled NFT and token hype, and clicks silencing newbies. So we'll basically talk about how silence is equals low morale and distrust. And then how to reignite the mission, empower new leaders, and co create solutions if you find yourself in this position or your community is in this position. So, just some tips and tricks and just how that it's so rampant, especially during bear markets in crypto, that you see these communities fall off pretty fast. And, you'll see active budding Telegram chats just kind of start sounding more like tumbleweeds, and what to do about it. So that's our topic tomorrow night. And hope to see you guys there.
That's awesome. I can't wait. I'm just going to leave it at that tonight because we're going to talk about it tomorrow night. All right, you mind if I do a few headlines? I got a month's worth of headlines, y'all. I've been trying to get through them the last few weeks, but we had some pretty good topics the last couple of weeks, so I did not. Should I start off with the more recent ones or the ones from a while back? Queen? Queen, you there? Uh-oh, did I lose Queen already? Uh-oh, give me an emoji if y'all can hear me. Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, so let's take a look here. At one point I had a good list, a bad list. It's just all information at this point. So let me just rattle off a few for y'all. Polymarket a while back, I think this was ones from like a month ago. Ethereum had a 57% chance of losing the number 2 spot. Anthropic CEO says not sure if Claude is conscious. U.S. No, I'm not going over the job employment stuff. Skip. 51%. No, that's another one. Skip. New. Oh, this was kind of crazy. I think I still got it somewhere. Military has a new AI site, genai.mil, the designer tool for military. I'm not sure why they broadcasted that on Twitter, but yeah, they just told everybody where to go set up their AI agents for the military. It's kind of wild. Also, speaking of Gemini, not speaking of Gemini, but speaking of Gemini, that didn't have anything to do with Gemini. That was more military. But Gemini talked someone into committing suicide. Also, OpenAI ChatGPT helped plan the Cannon shooter evade. Trump. I think I did speak on this one the last week or two ago, but I will talk about it again. He put out a long tweet on, was it Truth Social, talking about how the banks were holding up the Clarity Act, and there was like no mention of Congress. Like he had been like talking just with the banks directly or something. It's kind of wild. Look that one up. Let's see here. European and central banks against stable coins. Shocker. Palantir and NVIDIA partnered up for what they called an AI operating system. Palantir and NVIDIA. Very interesting. Humanoids. It didn't. This humanoid was arrested for harassing an elderly woman in China. I did read later on that I guess there was a guy remote controlling the humanoid from somewhere when it was doing that, but still, nonetheless, that might actually be scarier than the fact if a humanoid just went up and started harassing the woman in China, but that you now have remote controlled humanoids out there in the real world that can just go up and start harassing humans. Also, humanoids were being tested in the Ukraine war with M16s. I'm just going to stop there because I have more. Queen, what's a good topic tonight?
I want to talk about humanoids in the Ukraine war. Like, is this for real?
Yeah, this was about a month ago, but the humanoids were pretty much. I mean, there's the robotics and warfare aren't new. Like I've been posting robotics and with weapons and the DM chats from like 2020. And they're probably go back way further than that. But like straight up ones that were like look like Terminators, like back in 2020.
So which side are they on? Are they on Ukraine or Russia or both?
I think, I'm pretty sure both are probably developing it, but I think these were probably U.S. ones being on the Ukraine side. But I mean, China just, I think we've all seen them. I think they've got a more low-key version of these dogs, these robotic dogs in New York that are running around right now. But China's actually got propaganda videos of them going out like with one super soldier and like an AI agent with 10 dogs, like street sweeping areas. Like, yeah, this stuff's coming, y'all. Like if it's not here already, it's pretty insane.
If I'm a soldier,
they actually showed,
and if I'm like a uniformed soldier, I come up against a humanoid robot, I'm out. Like, how are you going to fight that?
Right, like they got one that looks like RoboCop in China now that was walking around with the law enforcement patrolling the streets. It didn't look like these ones that I saw in the military one, but it looked like RoboCop. It's pretty crazy. They got a guy. This wasn't. This was more technology, but they were showing a demo of this guy. And I think, gosh, don't quote me, but I want to say he ended up selling the technology to Pentagon. But he had these glasses, and he was connected. It was like some Call of Duty on steroids. But he's got these glasses. He's connected with all these other people in the area, and he's got this way he could. It's not even like night vision. He was like literally seeing through buildings, like spotting other soldiers, and then like he would get, and they would like coordinate and find people, and like they would just like see him through everything. Like it was like insane. Like they've got that out now.
Like,
Like there's really no telling what they've got.
Temperature, like that level.
Like, yeah, it was like heat seeking, yeah, but like through buildings. And I don't even think it was like heat seeking. It was like something different. Like he could just like see through walls and just see people. But don't quote me on that. It might have been heat seeking, but it was like it wasn't like a heat signature. I remember watching the video a while back. It's somewhere here on X, y'all. Google it. It'll search it here on X. It'll pop up. Like it was pretty incredible technology. This was like about a month and a half ago.
Speaking of technology and AI, vendor changes subjects for just for a second. But did you ever dive into Claude Code? Because I heard they just put the hammer down on subscriptions.
No. Like, are you talking about where they? I guess they had either released the code or accidentally released it, where they had a lot of their back-end coding.
No, that was
It's like somebody figured it out.
Yeah, I remember that headline. That's a different one though. Like just this past weekend, maybe it happened Friday, but all these people were running these AI agents on Claude, OpenClaw, and I guess they were doing it for a pretty low subscription price, like $200 a month. But they were like totally logging down like all the compute on Anthropic on these models, and so they said that like you have just a few days to upgrade your subscription basically, and I think it's like in maybe $1,000 a month or something like that, or you can't run these AI agents on third party through third party platforms. And so everybody's kind of up in arms what they're going to do with all their agents. But like I haven't got into it, so I don't know exactly all the details. But maybe somebody in the audience is running Claude Code or Claude Work or something and can tell us. You guys come up and chat. Feel free to come talk to us about any of this stuff.
If you got your life half together, come up and chat. I'll be probably halfway further than me right now. That's okay.
What did you say, Brenda?
half of my halfway is really good. No, in all seriousness, though, we like to hear from y'all. But you know what? It's interesting, Queen. I just watched a YouTube, and I think it was very similar. So this guy had a third party, and there's something about these tokens, which are like credits, and he had just started a business where he had made some kind of AI agent that was confined to it was like its own world before it unleashed. You could only allow it, only what you allowed it to access is the only thing it would allow. So I guess with OpenClaw, for example, like it can kind of get into your emails, your computer, whatever. This was like more like in its own dimension. And then whatever you introduced into that dimension is all it had access to. So like you could control it basically. So, but it was really functional, like AI agents, really good. And so people would just sign up left and right with this, but something to do with that agent. And he was contemplating upcharging the customers because they were basically abusing it and doing all that kind of stuff, which you were similarly talking about, like creating a bunch of agents and, just doing all kinds of little stuff. Whatever it was costing him a lot more money than whatever he was charging for the subscription. And he was like, yeah, I'm just debating if I'm if I want to up that or not, because right now he basically said he was still coming out. It was only like a few people were doing it, but if other people caught on, they were going to have to charge them. So yeah, it's something about these credits and how they're using them that rack up the dollars. And I think too, didn't Musk do something with his API where they're charging by the like per use or something now?
I don't know about that, vendor. Hey, I'm pulling this
Oh.
open. I'm pulling this notice. I'm gonna put it in the chat so we can dive a little deeper into it if we want to. But basically, it's saying starting April 4th at 12 p.m. Pacific time, you'll no longer be able to use your Claude subscription limits for third-party harnesses, including OpenClaw. And then it talks about a little bit more into it. But yeah, basically said that it was overloading their system with what everybody was doing. They were running like $2,000 to $5,000 agents through their $200 subscription, and they just weren't able to manage it anymore. Do you see that I posted to the nest?
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, let me look at that. Wow, that's pretty. If they are going to charge for OpenClaw by, whoa, like they're basically trying to stop OpenClaw, or at least charge up for it. That's going to be insane. That might, yeah.
Yeah, I was hearing
Because OpenClaw, like,
I was hearing people talk about they've got all these agents like are swarming everywhere, and now they're like, okay, what do we do with them now? We got to figure something out.
right. Yeah, that's wow. I would like, because like that OpenClaw community is pretty big. Like they were, they try to be funny, but when it first kind of really dropped, they were mooning Pump Sevens.
I know
That's how
Barco's
big
been
it got.
playing here.
Like,
Barco's, you can talk to us. I know you've been playing an OpenClaw. There's no way you haven't.
But that's really interesting. Let's see here. You know what? I'm gonna while you get back to that, I'm gonna just do a few more headlines here. Oh, this one. You know what? Before I forget, Queen, since you can I get some applause, please?
What are we applauding
That
for?
applause. That applause goes out, and I got to find the tweet. It's probably about a month now or so-ish, but that applause goes out to you actually, because I had this highlighted in my notes. Crypto Queen was recognized on International Women's Day by the Futures Conference, and I just thought that was cool, along with a host of other outstanding women in Web3, but not every woman in Web3 was highlighted by the Futures Conference, but Queen was amongst those. So kudos to you, and I just, for some reason, had that in my notes and mentioned that today, but I wanted to make sure I mentioned that to you.
Oh, thanks, Bender. That was pretty cool. They're good people. I met their social media person at Blockchain Futurist Conference, and she was so nice. And she was like, "You're the one who shares all of our posts and retweets everything." And so that's probably why.
Right? No, probably not. You do really good on the panels too, but that doesn't hurt. I'm sure. Okay, let's see here. Because like I said, I just wanted to kind of go through some of these here. Oh, wow. Did I already go through week 5? Oh, yeah, I think I did. Okay. Kraken, first exchange with Federal Reserve Master Account. Basically, I think they can start a bank in, I don't know where they were at, Wyoming or something. Maybe it's Idaho. I don't know. It's somewhere out west. But they can start a bank. So shout out to Kraken on that one. Also, speaking of Kraken, they partnered with NASDAQ for tokenized stocks. Let's see here. I talked about those. Oh, OpenAI's head of robotics quit over an autonomous. Oh, this was crazy. Yeah, an autonomous defense AI development robot. So Open AI is developing not only robotics, which is scary enough, but they were doing it autonomously with AI. So we'll just see how that goes. But the head of robotics for OpenAI quit. And specifically, she said that in her tweet, like, I'm quitting because of that. BlackRock blocks private credit fund withdrawals. That was crazy. I think they only, I don't know, man. Like, people were trying to withdraw, like, I think they only allow like 9% of like of whatever everybody was trying to withdraw at once. It was like nuts. Curve Finance accused Pancake of stealing their code, which Pancake responded to them in a reply like, "Hey, DMS will figure it out." Like, I don't know. Sounded like they were just ready to pay him off for stealing their code, but not financial advice there. And I don't want to accuse anybody of anything since I didn't know what happened after that. This one was interesting. I don't know if y'all remember this. It was kind of big on the internet for a day, but these brain cells, they put these brain cells in a petri dish, kind of sort of like, a technologically advanced petri dish, I guess you could say, connected to something that shows up on the screen. And they were actually playing that game called Doom. So brain cells just learn how to play Doom, like no brain, just brain cells. And then Vitalik had talked about DAOs still being needed. Sure. I like DAOs. Don't let me lie. Especially in the big stuff. Why not let the community have a voice? Let's see here. Do I want to go? Okay, I'll save that for later. Queen, back to you.
Hey, I want to talk about the private credit because I think we are seeing a quiet private credit crisis behind the scenes. But yeah, BlackRock was just one other company, along with like Morgan Stanley and some of the big groups that have had to cap their redemption requests. So I put this up in the nest. This is about Morgan Stanley in particular, but it says that Morgan Stanley saw the highest redemption requests at 10.9% of total net asset value, followed by a couple other companies, more than double from the prior quarter. Across the 12 largest funds, every single one saw redemption requests accelerate in quarter one 2026, signaling a broad based rush for the exit. And this comes as the $2 trillion private credit market faces growing pressure from AI related fears around software company valuations, rising interest rates, and $4 trillion in private equity deals that have been proven difficult to exit. So yeah, they basically are trying to cap this bank run in private equity. And I wonder, I kind of want to get your opinion on this, or maybe somebody else in the audience. Where are these people gonna where are these people taking their money now if they're not feeling that it's significant value to invest in private credit markets? Any thoughts on that?
Well, I don't know. Gold and silver have been. Uh, I mean, they had a nice run, 6 month run there. I don't know about recently. I haven't checked the prices today. Let's see what else here. I don't know. Stocks, I think we're kind of up and down last week. Like, I think last Friday they rallied like over $1 trillion, but had lost like 2.5 trillion or so throughout the week or month or something
Yeah,
up to that.
it's been pain in the stock market. I don't know if any of you guys are in, but it's been rough out there.
Right. I would say, I don't know, not even off the top of my head, just looking. I would say everybody's been trying to probably run the oil right now. It sounds like
Yeah,
oil might be.
you're probably right. You're probably right. Gold and silver, and then oil.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. So yeah, gold's at about 46 and change. Silver's at about $73 and change. I think that just actually pumped up a little bit. Yeah, a couple more percentage points from last week. Bitcoin, I don't know. Wasn't it? Gosh, I wasn't online much today. Wasn't Bitcoin over 70,000 at one point today? It's back at 68.8. Long story short. Wow. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, I thought I had my oil. Where's my oil go?
Sorry, Bender, couldn't get my mute off. Yeah, I think you're right. But yeah, back down to 68.8. Just seems like it's trading in this choppy little range. but it's kind of holding. I mean, I guess a lot of people didn't think it was going to hold 68, but it seems to be holding for now.
Yeah, we'll see how that kind of goes here. I think there's just I don't know. I don't know. I don't even want to look at technicals right now because it's just there's so much FA going on. You know, not to say technicals don't matter. I think with Bitcoin they always matter, but like, you know, there could be some news that drops tomorrow that just totally just throws everything off that you're thinking about. Yeah, here we go. U.S. oil 113 right now. Whew. And I know that's up a lot since last month.
What are gas prices doing out
Put
there,
it that way.
Bender?
Gas prices, I am not great. It just shot up. I literally filled up yesterday at 3. No, for those out there listening, I stay in a 2 mile radius of like 30 gas stations. Like it's like gas price warfare out here. Like it is a free market gas stream. Like literally every corner, there's a gas station across from each other, like going out for prices. And like, so like my area stays like at the average national price for like a day. And then they all just 3 cents down each other until it goes down like 30, 40 cents in a week. But anyway, I don't know what the national average is. I'm pretty sure it's higher, but my area is like $4 a gallon today. And it was like 360s yesterday.
$4 a gallon. That's crazy.
Yeah. Which I mean out here ain't even that bad. I'm pretty sure we're below like the national average. It's certainly the West Coast. I feel awful for people that live in like California. Like I couldn't imagine like $4 would be like lovely to them. Like I think maybe I don't know. I was the first time I went out west, it was like $6 or $7 a gallon. I was like, oh my gosh, like, and that was a while back. I'm pretty sure there's some $8, $9, $10 gallon spots out there right now.
Ouch, that's painful.
California, I'll say specifically. I'm not sure about the rest of the West Coast, but California, yeah, that I could see why. I could see having the electric vehicle in California, even though I think they were just trying to propose like some kind of now electronic tax. Leave it up to California to figure that one out, right? But yeah, they were trying to do like a per mile tax, like since nobody was buying enough gas to offset the taxes that they were getting. It's I don't know, which I think was a deterrent to make people go buy electric vehicles. Now you just going to tax them too? I'm like, bro. But the weather's great, you know. I can't lie about that. When I was out there, it was like sunshine and nice the whole time. I live in a pretty humid climate, so every time I'm out west, I love like the non-humidity part of it. It's beautiful.
I can afford to live there. I just don't get it. The salaries can't be that high, can they?
I think it's probably like New York City, you know, where like your jobs are the equivalent. Like I know San Francisco, it costs a lot, but you make a lot. So I'm pretty sure it's like that. We'll see. Yeah. So I think, but what was you saying back to, yeah, it seems like, well, you also got to take into account too, you know, the type of people that are trying to withdraw these funds out of these institutions. Like, you know, they say, what is it? I think 80% of the United States isn't even invested, like outside of like a 401k or something. Like, you know, like there's just not, you know, like the majority of the stock market, America isn't in. You know, so like if you're probably dealing with BlackRock and that kind of thing, and you're trying to take your money out, like you're probably, I hate to say it, but you're probably a well-to-do, you know, person with some kind of, you know, financial sense when you're trying to make this move. So like it's like, you know, BlackRock is just, you know, basically telling really smart people no. like you're not taking your money.
Yeah, you got a point.
Yeah.
Just seems to be a
Yeah. So
bigger contagion out there with this credit crisis that a lot of people aren't talking about yet. But I mean, I hear more and more every day. People are maxing out their credit cards and not affording their bills and all that stuff. Like, when is it going to break?
but hopefully not. I tell you, not that I don't care. I don't care anymore. Sure, take my life story, whatever. But I think only so much can happen, right? Like if you're at an hourly wage job and your pay isn't increasing, but everything around you, your gas, your food, your electric, whatever, is just increasing. Like, there's only so much you can do with that kind of budget. Like, there's only so many options you have. Like, you either have to find a job that's making you more money, you have to take on more jobs. Like, you're going to have to do something to make up for what's going on at your bottom line. And, I can tell you, credit sometimes is a way out, just, in terms of a temporary band-aid. And the problem that happens is that you get into, a cycle, especially if you start making those minimum payments. That's when they really get you, with everything. If you can, for out there, listen, I'm not a financial advisor, but try to avoid making minimum payments at all costs. Try to pay off your credit card every chance you get, completely every month. So that way you're just giving them free money. But but some people just can't do that. And so, like, you go out and spend, $500 a month and your minimum payment's $99 a month. And that just keeps happening over and over and over again. And then, your interest rates then starts kicking up. And then that $99 a month starts turning into $150 a month. And, it just like, cycles up from there. And, you're only paying off a small portion of your principal when you're doing that too. So, these things are escalating quickly, and then it just gets to a point where the payments get too high for folks. Like, now you've been doing this for 6 months. Now you owe $5,000. Now your payments on your credit cards, like a car payment, is $350, $400 a month. You can't even afford that because you were doing that, to avoid that. With everything, and that's how you can go into default. So that's happening with a lot of people out there. On top of that, just the regular rates have raised with everything there too. Again, so I'm not a financial advisor, but I've read enough. I know enough about this stuff. I've worked in the financial industry a long time with everything. So the biggest indicators usually are homes and cars, homes and vehicles, for the most part. So when those rates go up, they just pass the buck along to you. They don't care, when the Fed sets it, higher. So I don't know. For example, in 2020, you could get probably 2, 3, 4% with decent credit score, all day, every day. With that one right now, a decent rate's like probably closer to like 6%. If that. I think they just went down a little bit to 6%, but they might have even went back up here recently with everything too. So, so now you have housing costs that are higher. The same thing's happening with your car payment that went from $350 to $500 a month. Now your credit card went up with that and everything. Now your outgoes getting ridiculous, and all this time you're still making the same amounts. And that doesn't even call again, not even factoring back into real life, not even factoring back into a night out, a health issue, that kind of thing there too. Just stuff that just happens to people every day, and on top of this and everything, and it's just mounting up, with people out there. So, something, it breaks and it gives, just like kind of 2008, and I can't remember the cycles before that, in terms of everything, but you just kind of get to these points where the system just, for lack of a better word, it just kind of resets back to reality, like what people really should be paying. Just my humble opinion.
And if you listen to the people at the top talk, I don't think they get it because they're like millionaires and billionaires and they don't feel what we feel out here in the real world. Like they'll say, oh, well, the cost of eggs has gone down. But at the same time, the cost of meat and everything else has gone up and gas has gone up. And it's like, wow, that's great. We can buy eggs, but that's about it, you know? And I mean, I look around and you make a decent living and you think things are tight, but what about these folks who don't make a decent living or are making minimum wage or just barely getting by? Like, I just don't know how long people can take it.
Yeah, it's I don't know either. Like again, I just think I don't know if it's by design. I don't know what's going on. I will say one that I was going to get to this week, and I'll share this in the comments here. See, let me go find it. But rent prices have been going down across the board. Well, I shouldn't say across the board, but because there are some markets that are hot. But there was they showed like all these major cities where rent prices were going down, but I think across the U.S. too, and housing getting better in terms of price. I would say it's not so much a seller's market as it was the last couple of years. That's the best way I'll put it. People are probably listening to offers at this point with everything there too. So I mean, there's some things happening, but you're right, especially about the eggs. I thought we were on a good sign because at one point I was seeing like $6 to $7 for a carton of eggs, and then here recently I've seen them as low as like $2 on sale. Not all the time, but like they'll do some flash sales, where they're up to $2, and I'm like, all right, But then like you said, the meat. What I was buying meat for 2 years ago, full price is now that same price on sale. Like a 3 pound of hamburger is like $20 right now, like on sale.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
Like, I was like, wow. But yeah, and not financial advice there, not eating advice, but I've also been trying to eat better, so it's definitely costing me more right now to do that. But yeah, I don't know, Queen. It's going to be one of those. It's just going to be one of those things. We're just going to have to see how it all plays out. Like, I'm not even going to. I'm not going to go to AI. We're just going to see how, because like the other stuff, just in the regular world, is just bad enough. Without even incorporating, them trying to, make all the jobs go bye-bye somewhere.
I knew the doomer was going to come out.
Just going to leave that. I'm just leaving it alone. I got an iPad. It's AI assisted. It's ready to go. I literally just used AI all week to figure everything out. I'm using AI every day. Like, I'll just keep retweeting, data centers, putting mobile homes, families out in the street. Just watch the retweets.
Well, Bender, we got about.
I'll just tag y'all casually when I see stuff like that. I got a good one, Queen.
What? I wanted to make sure we talked about the drift hack tonight. We got about 12 more minutes, so let's leave time for that because that is just bizarre to wow.
Okay. This one though, I think for anybody out there listening, if you're not aware of this, I wasn't aware of this. Shame on me. But this has to do with, I know we've been talking about the Clarity app, but this one actually has to do with the Genius hack. So Tether froze and exposed the shadow dollar's U.S. sanctions weapon. So Tether unilaterally froze 182 million in USDT linked to the Venezuelan oil trade just 6 days after the Maduro regime fell, bypassing international courts entirely. The upgrade action proves that centralization stablecoins function as a digital kill switch, offering Washington faster, more direct asset seizure capabilities than the legacy SWIFT banking system. Faster, more direct asset seizure capabilities than the legacy SWIFT banking system. Yes, I repeated that. The paradox. Analyst Shanaka Anselm Ferreira notes that Venezuelan pivot to USDT backfired by using stablecoins backed by treasuries. The regime financed the U.S. deficit while, I'm sorry, that's just like some kind of headline. Let's see here. Smart contract execution bypassed international courts and SWIFT messaging system entirely, effectively turning that shadow dollar economy against the very users who sought the refuge in it. The freeze targeted funds are derived from Venezuela's oil trade. Approximately 80% of those revenues migrated to USDT settlement to evade previous U.S. banking blockades. So previously, you were able to bypass it with USDT. Let's see here. Geopinnacle analysts argue that strategy backfired, pivoting the crypto placed seven assets under tighter U.S. control than legacy banking ever permitted. Peer highlighted the structure ironically on analysts published on X. I should have took a screenshot of that one part, but let's see here. Oh yeah, Tether operation required no court order or international coordination. A single request to the issuer provided sufficient to look out funds. Sanctions didn't drive Venezuela away from the dollar infrastructure. He noted the sanctions actually drove Venezuela onto dollar infrastructure that American controls more directly than traditional banking. Let's see here. Paradox where I'm gonna let y'all read this, but it's a part where this was actually part of the kill switch, and part of the Genius Act, I should say, where if you have a stable coin in the United States, you are required to have this type of kill switch to operate in the United States with your stable coin. So I think in essence, and I'm going to share this article down here in the purple pill with y'all so y'all can kind of take a look at it. With everything, but it's basically, it reads like literally we're a social credit score away from stablecoins just basically being the CBDC, because they can just freeze them in the U.S. at will, and like no court order, no whatever. Like you're better off just having some fiat and trying to hop a fence on the border than just getting out at this point. Like use some Bitcoin or something. Like I'm thinking like, I don't know. What's the privacy coin called? Coin KMR? Like,
Was it Monero?
Monero, yeah. That's what I was thinking, KMR. But get Monero and just siphon your funds off into somewhere and then meet you in Switzerland. Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, they got stable coins, y'all. I knew Circle had the capability when it opened, but I didn't know that they did this with USDT. That's insane.
Me neither. Yeah,
Right.
Zach XBT was just criticizing Circle for not moving fast enough with some freezing of some of these assets. But yeah, I didn't know about Tether.
Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of get to that one. So I just want to make sure people were aware of that, and I'll put it down here. I'll tag you in it too. I'm sorry. Go ahead with your one that you were thinking about.
Oh, I just want to talk about the Drift hack. This was like the latest news in the last few days. So the Solana protocol was hacked for like $280 million. And as part of that, a lot of the Circle assets were bridged over across like 6 hours worth of bridging and movement. And Zach XBT said that Circle didn't do enough to freeze those assets. So they let them just continue to move for 6 hours without freezing them. But the way this happened was crazy. And just, I want to put an asterisk by this that the postmortem is already out like 2 days after it happened. And we're still waiting for a postmortem from other chains. But that's besides the point. So it linked it back to DPKR. So the North Korea, the Lazarus group, was at the source of this hack. And the way they did it is they infiltrated, I guess, 2 multi-sig signers. So 2 out of the 5 multi-sig signers were compromised. And they didn't do it by any kind of weird phishing and hack or anything like that. It was actually something that could happen to a lot of protocols and companies out there, and it was I guess easier and harder than you would think. But they had these third party intermediaries that were going out to meet this drift protocol at conferences, and they were introducing a product that they had, and so they developed these relationships over like 6 months plus, where they had these people befriending the company, introducing products. They even put $1 million of their own assets into this vault that they were going to work with Drift on. And so at some point in time, they did some like work groups, shared some files. Goes way deeper than my technical knowledge, but basically 2 out of those 5 multisigs were their computers were compromised, and they got the signature. And they had like placed this malicious code that kind of was like a sleeper code for like a week. It sat there, and then when the signature came across, it drained these funds. It took full control of the Drift system and drained the funds. And at the same time, they realized that it was this group because that company like automatically deleted all their Telegram messages, and any access to their products was like scrubbed immediately. So yeah, they stole $280 million of user funds, and it's just kind of crazy how that happened. And in researching this, some of the security experts were talking about how many protocols that you use daily have been infiltrated by North Korea over the past 7 years since DeFi summer, and they named several of them like Aave. Gosh, I don't have the full list, but SHIB was one of them. And we've known this with the Deployer One connections, but yeah, I don't know that a lot of people are aware of just how deep North Korea is and how much crypto they've stolen over the past 7+ years, and just how, I guess, vulnerable a lot of these companies and protocols are to this type of infiltration and social engineering. So it's kind of scary and crazy how this happened. But yeah, $280 million was stolen.
Wow. I think, I don't know if you had mentioned this, but wasn't it like involved with a bunch of other projects and stuff like that too? Eventually, like it spread.
Yeah, it was like a contagion that spread to several other protocols around that project. I think it was like 230 million from Drift itself, and then like another 50 million from other protocols and products.
And it's always been, I don't know, since I've been in crypto, there's always been a running joke like, North Korea, hacked this or did that. Actually, I think they've really caught them on just rugged memes left and right on Pump Fund. Like, I think they've like actually discovered it's a thing with North Korea. Not financial advice, but I'm pretty sure I'm right on that one. But yeah, so like North Korea's just been like, doing just all kinds of insane things when it comes to crypto. And I mean, it's a worldwide entity. Everybody can log in and play along, so it wouldn't shock me. In regards to that, and I mean, they're definitely not the only country doing it. But like, it's definitely some homegrown. Probably things going on here too. I'm pretty sure they're not the. In fact, yeah, but in fact, that's how Bone got caught up in that sweep with the U.S. They were running a sting operation on scammers and caught up a bunch of people doing stuff, and somehow, like, I'm not saying anything on it. They just found Bone in somebody's wallet, for lack of a better word of it. I don't think anything else is kind of really gone past that. But that's but to go that in depth and detail to execute your scam and at that kind of dollar amount is pretty phenomenal for North Korea. Like, I, man, it'd be kind of scary if North Korea just actually did, some things for good. Like they just put that brain power towards humanity. Like they're always coming up with some crazy stuff. Otherwise, like just imagine North Korea if like you just had your best and brightest solving problems.
Yeah, but they are
Purchase
solving
hacks.
problems for the government. I mean, they're government sponsored and they're using the funds to build weapons program.
Yeah,
So they are, I guess, the
yeah,
best and brightest. But the twist on this is that a lot of these companies are kind of they're looking for the North Korean nationals, when they do their hiring and when they do their interviews and things like that. But they're not used to these third party intermediaries that are not nationals that they're sending out to be the face of Lazarus, and they befriend and infiltrate these programs, and they're not suspecting it because they're not North Korean nationals, and they have a full like LinkedIn profile, they have employment history, like all this stuff can be verified, and it's really hard to figure out who's who. But there is a website, and I don't have it. I was trying to find it to link it, but that you can like search the database of suspected Lazarus tied individuals before you do your hiring. So I don't know if it would necessarily find all these intermediaries, but it'd be a good place to start.
I would imagine it's gosh, it only who knows how. Like you're already playing at a level, where just normal verification, all that kind of stuff comes into play. Security comes into play. Background test comes into play. Checks, I should say, come into play. That kind of thing there too. And yeah, it's probably just it's high level espionage. So yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it can probably get really tough, especially right now. Because there is almost an over reliance on um, technology to do all these tests and everything for you, and you're probably dealing with a bunch of people remote, that you never see face to face. Like when I got hired, like I don't talk. My whole team's all across the planet. Long story short, I won't. I the closest person near me, I think, is like 4 hours away. But I might not even be talking to somebody in my time zone that I work with. It's like yeah. So I couldn't imagine like crypto where you're probably 2 or 3 steps removed from even that. In terms of remote. And knowing somebody. You're just really you're just running information based on what they gave you to see if it matches up and then if it's clearable. So yeah, thank you for that. That's an eye opener. I'm glad you kind of went deaf on that one. Now I was kind of looking at the article when you sent it this week, and I thought I thought the name of the hack was Drift, like they had just made a Drift hack.
No.
Like it was it was malware or something. Like, oh my god, they're sending out Drift hack now. Like I got to protect my wallet against the Drift hack. Oh my god.
And Vendor, I put up in the nest just now the sanction search website, but basically it's the Office of Foreign Asset Control. It has a like searchable website, and I just screenshot it and put it in there for you guys.
Thank you. I wanted to share stuff on the Jumbotron tonight, but yeah.
Also, I have a request for Unhinged Bender.
You have
There's
what?
a request in comments for they want the Unhinged Bender. I kind of do too.
Oh, and Unhinged. I don't know. That was. I kind of took a toll on me last week. Like I had to take a step back. Like I don't know. Give me next week, y'all. I'm gonna get fired up again because I've been tagging Queen and Gabby and the latest where the AI data centers are just buying up stuff and people are trying to fight back and getting arrested and council meetings for no reason. Not arrested, but being escorted out abruptly when they even try to voice their
Bender,
concern.
they made people leave their
It's
trailer
amazing.
park this week. Do something about it.
Right. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to here, and everybody, just called me doomer last week. Told me what if, think of the possibilities. So here I am.
Speak up for the people
I'm
who
gonna figure
don't
it
have
out, though.
voices out there, Bender, who are having their property seized for data centers.
I'm gonna figure it out. Like we're gonna figure out how to make AI for good. It's not going anywhere. Like even if you stop building AI data centers today, AI is not going anywhere. And actually, I'm still mesmerized by the concept of this massive building and structure and all this electricity and everything when the cloud exists. So I don't understand why they need so much storage and physical hardware for data space. And I can understand like the first few of the data centers being built because you just didn't know what you were doing with AI. You just needed hardware to upload. But there's smart people in the back rows right now. And long story short, I think they could have really condensed the operation at this point and probably be using a lot less electricity. But I don't know. Like you're trying to simulate not only a brain, but you're also trying to supercharge that brain on top of it. And the brain's a very complex, just undiscovered, territory. It's kind of like the ocean or space. Like we only use, geniuses use 11% of their brain. Like an absolute stone cold genius, and you're not even tapping into 80+% of your brain. It's amazing.
The pollution. Don't forget the pollution.
Yeah, and the pollution, air, land, water, all that, electricity bills being passed through. Yeah, we don't need unhinged tonight. I'm good.
Sorry, Julie. I couldn't do it. I tried.
Give me a week, man. Last week I felt like veins were coming out of my forehead at one point. It felt like that when I was talking. And this week I was just like, you know what? Let's see what happens with AI in the hands of somebody that wants to do right. Let's try that. And so now the AI won't let me pair a simple device, but that's okay. I'm not mad at Apple at all. Just my first Apple product just totally failed. Nope, not mad at all. Just not going to let that portion get to me. Let's go, Queen. I know we're a little bit over time. I want to do one more. I'm almost caught up. I'm just going to go over these ones this week because this week is crazy. I'm not going to go over week 6 because that was I can skip week 6. Okay. So this week, I do want to mention one from last week. Tesla Diner. Yes, like the food. Tesla Diner sells 9.8 thousand milkshakes. Generates $110,000 for quarter one, just in milkshakes. And I think there's one Tesla Diner on the West Coast. Also, random sharks did test for cocaine, painkillers, and caffeine in the Bahamas. Sharks. Okay. Also last week, I found this one pretty interesting, y'all. Kit Kat. So Kit Kat was transporting 12 tons, which is the equivalent of 400,000 Kit Kats from Italy to Poland, and they got robbed for the Kit Kats. Hijacked for the Kit Kats. I found that really interesting.
I don't blame them.
Artemis, I don't know. I haven't eaten a lot of chocolate here recently, but I don't know if it was Kit Kat or no, it was Reese's peanut butter cups.
Oh,
They had changed their No, they changed their recipe. They no longer use milk chocolate. And this guy was on the internet complaining about it. It's like, man, it just tastes like a bunch of chemicals. And I remember around Christmas, I still had one that the family member gave me. I was like, all right, I'm going to try it just to see. And no lie, I bit into it and it did taste different. And I read the ingredients and it was a bunch of stuff I couldn't pronounce. And I don't think milk was on there. It was kind of wild. But and I'm not saying that about Kit Kat because I have no clue. But I really hope Kit Kat has retained their essence because that is one of my. If I ever do go back to chocolate, Kit Kat will be on the list. And I picked the left side for no reason. Let's see here. Canada. Regulation for stable coins, one-to-one reserves. Canada's basically on their way to make a stable coin. Hopefully they don't make it freezable like the U.S. did. I did comment about that when they raised their thing. Military. Really interesting, y'all. The military raised their draft age to 42 years old. It was previously 35, which I also thought was crazy. But yeah, the military just recently raised their draft age to 42 now. Queen, this one comes from you. Crypto Twitter's presence on X, I should say, has collapsed 93% since September of last year. So y'all just, I don't know what happened to Crypto Twitter, but we're the remaining ones on here. Thank y'all for listening in. Artemis 2 makes a trip around the moon. I'm not gonna lie, Queen. You look at these photos they're sending back, and I know there's probably some people out there. I don't care. Call me conspiracy theorist. Call me whatever. I don't believe you. I'm just gonna say that.
Bender, are you serious? Oh my god!
I don't think they're making trips around the moon whatsoever. Unless I get some full blown, I want to see dark side of the moon pics. They conveniently called it loss of signal. The guy is in the meeting before they even go up in space. He's like, yeah, unfortunately, we're going to have loss of signal. We're not going to be able to stream when we get there. Oh, how convenient is that? You've only had, 6 decades, bro, to figure out how to get signal there. Nixon's sitting here on a freaking phone talking to somebody in space when they're landing on the moon. Now, one giant step for man, but one giant step for mankind. He's on a freaking rotary phone from the 1960s, whatever the heck it was. But no, we got loss of signal, in space, in 2026. How effing convenient is that? I don't believe you. And look at these pictures, y'all. They look like something you can make on Photoshop. There's this picture. There's no land absolutely on Earth except for the bottom freaking left-hand corner of the world. Like, how are planes even getting across half the planet with nowhere to land, roof full, nothing? I don't believe you. Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, that was...
You think the Earth
there
is
we go.
flat,
Y'all want
too,
to his Avenger. There we go.
Do you think the Earth
What's that?
Is the Earth flat, Bender?
I've said this previously. That's not a hill I'm going to die on. I will say it makes more sense for it to be flat than it does round. If you were flying from the North Pole to Australia and you don't feel at one point you're upside down like you're on a roller coaster, like, it doesn't make any physical sense that it wouldn't be flat. I'm sorry. If you've ever gone upside down a roller coaster, you should be doing the same exact thing going to Australia. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, it's just common sense. It's just right there. But again, it's one of those things, like, they pit the flat earthers against the round earthers to argue about it all day, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, whatever. Even if they were hiding it for a reason, it doesn't matter. Like, they're just doing enough crazy stuff in front of our faces, like concealing the Earth's shape. Like, I don't care if the Earth is square. Like, you're unleashing AI and kicking people out of their trailer parks. Like, that's what's happening in whatever shape the Earth is. So yeah, but I would probably move more towards flat. Yes.
This is so awesome.
I think Earth is like a special realm for humans that was built, and we just get to look at cool cool round stuff in space all day. I think space kind of.
Have you ever been to
It makes more
Italy?
sense for space to float around us.
Have you ever been to Italy?
Look at the North Star. I have not.
How do you know that Italy is really there? Do you believe in Italy?
Do I believe in Italy?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I got a lot of families from Italy.
But you haven't been there. You haven't seen it yourself. How do you believe it? Are they just making that up?
Italy could be on a flat Earth or around Earth. I don't know. Like it doesn't matter what shape the Earth is. Italy's there.
How do you know?
Yeah.
You haven't seen it. You haven't been there.
Look up North Star and how that is always in the north, and like the Earth is rotating. And you explain to me then, like how the Earth's not flat. Like there's, like I said, I'm not. It's not one. I'm not going to get deep into arguments with people about flat Earth. It's not that serious to me. Again, it doesn't matter what the shape is of the Earth, whatever shape it is on. Like if the government released the flat Earth files tomorrow, right? And I'm just being straight up about this. If the Earth, they came out and said, "Hey guys, just kidding. All along, we've been, hiding crap up here, and the Antarctica, and like there's flat Earth, and there's a whole other realm behind the ice walls, and here it is. Just lay it all out. Sorry, not sorry. Our bag. Like it doesn't matter." And they rents do, electrics do, cell phones do, Wi-Fi's do. Like people would probably you would get about 36 hours of flat earthers going, "I told you so, bro," going up, screaming at the top of their lungs. They're right. They probably gain about 20,000 followers, and then like the planet would just go literally back to what it's not stopping a war if the Earth is flat. Like you're not. It's not going to change anybody's life if we just prove the Earth is absolutely flat. Like it's not going to stop me from going to space next week. I'll just get on the space and say, "Hey, Queen, I told you so." Like it's not going to change anything. My iPad is still not going to connect to Bluetooth that I just bought brand new.
So this moon
No
mission,
matter what the shape of the Earth
when they
is.
walked on the moon the first time, that was staged in like a set, Hollywood set. There are no footprints. There's no
Please.
flag planted.
Please do yourself a favor and go back and watch that footage. Please watch that footage. If you think that ain't in a Hollywood studio, if you really think somebody don't take go back, and everybody, I encourage you, go back and look at that actual footage of them walking on the moon and them bouncing around. It is hilarious. It's so, it makes CGI look like AI right now, like Sora. Like it's incredibly hilarious watching them bounce around on that. Yes, and then the thing, like if you look at what they went up there in, sure, bro. I'm sure you made it to the moon in that.
You are just encouraging Treasure over here with your conspiracy theories. You guys are brothers.
Like, yeah. I'm sure you made it past the what is that? The ozone layer. Yeah, I'm sure you burned through the ozone layer in that tin can. Sure. We didn't even have freaking cars that could, that had airbags back then. But sure, you're just blowing through, the Earth's freaking. It's things that keep like the sky from just evaporating into space. But yeah, sure, you just walked right through it. You look at it now. I mean, look at this shuttle and stuff we got now. Like that stuff barely holds up. like they're constantly like, oh, one little thing in our 90 million part rocket went south. We got to delay it another 6 months and do tests. Like this one was delayed, I think from, I don't know, but this most recent one was delayed. Like weather, whatever. But sure, Nixon's just on the phone, on a recorded phone, talking to people in space. Sure. Like there was like they didn't have cell phones back then, mind you. Didn't have cell phones. Probably didn't even have I don't know, they might have walkie talkies. But probably sure they had walkie talkies. But didn't have cell phones. Didn't have cell towers. But this dude's on the phone just talking live to people in space. Sure. Okay.
Well, we went off the grid tonight.
What's that?
We went off the grid tonight for sure.
We went off the grid. Absolutely. But again, I flat Earth Earth's about the only thing I haven't just said, and I'm not even saying I'm wrong on it. I'm just saying it hasn't been proven yet for sure. But like I said, the majority of my conspiracy theories are, if you just really look at them, they make a lot of common sense. But again, don't take my word for it. Go Google, go search, go find it. Original moon landing footage and watch it, and you will be like, bro, what have we been doing all this time? Like, why do y'all keep this fiasco up like that? I do think there is some kind of like, that what's it called, Blue Origin, when Katy Perry and them kind of went to the top of the, and then they floated back down. I think that's like where all the satellites are. But I don't think we're really getting out past too much of that nowadays. I think the International Space Station probably
you believe Katy
floats inside there somewhere.
You believe Katy Perry over the U.S. government?
No, I'm saying like I think like, you know what I'm talking about, Blue Origin, where it's Jeff Bezos' version of X. Okay, yeah. So he takes people up, and he basically takes them to the edge of space, like right where the sky and space meets. They hang out there for a little bit, and then they come back down. So I think, like,
how do you know that happened?
That could be fake too. It wouldn't shock me. It really wouldn't shock me. But that seems a lot more plausible about them going up to that point in the sky, where that's at, and then coming back down. Then, we get some random. Hold on here. I'm gonna show y'all this, y'all. Like, man, this looks like this. I think Grok could have rendered a better look of Earth than what we just got sent back here. And if you can explain to me that we've been living on a planet where, basically one side of this round ball has got all the land on it, and the other side is completely water, and, like everything we see kind of looks like it's wrapped around it at some point. Look at this one, y'all. I'm just going to, I'm going to put this down here in the comments, and y'all tell me if this looks like what you think Earth should be. Earth. I'm just going to put Earth. But no, it's either NASA. It's either one way or another.
Death Wish posted a tinfoil hat cat in the comments. That's so awesome.
That's definitely me.
That is you.
Oh wow, that is me. Yes. Thank you, Death Wish. That is me all day. Actually, it's a cool trick too. If y'all want to know something, that's funny, Julie. If you Wi-Fi, it emits a lot of crazy stuff. You can actually block it, but I blocked it to the point I did too good. I got to kind of figure it out. But you can actually block your Wi-Fi with tinfoil. It's amazing. But like I blocked it to the point like I wasn't getting Wi-Fi signal, which I was like, oh.
What would you say if I told you I slept with my cell phone? In the bed with me,
Just don't do
Bender.
it. Don't do it near your head, please. I mean, it's already emitting off radiation, but you don't want to put it near your head. On top of that, that's even worse.
What if I told
I
you
already
I
told you,
sleep with
like,
it right by my pillow?
don't do that, Queen. Keep it a couple feet away from me. Seriously. It'll tell you, right? In fact, I was just looking at it on my instructions on my iPad. But if you go into your settings on your phone, and I can't remember the section it's in, but it will tell you it emits. It's called RF. It emits radiation. I told you I don't ever. I shouldn't say ever. I very rarely, unless I'm in public and I have to have a conversation in public, I will only then talk with my uh, ear to my phone. Otherwise, I'm on speaker. I usually got the phone way away from me. I mean, I'm not stopping using my phone. Like it's just, I mean, I'm just hit just like everybody else. If it's just catching me, it's catching me. But like I was telling Queen, y'all, if you ever write this down for out there listening, in terms of that, replay it. But it's called Shungite, Shungite. But it's a rock that comes from Russia, and it can actually block the RF transmissions coming off of like your electronical devices and things like that. And it's not just cell phones. Like we're getting hit with it from 5G. We're getting hit with it from cell towers. All these radioactive, I shouldn't say radioactive, all these radio waves that are in the airways and everything like that, it's all just passing through us
But have you
constantly.
seen
But
them passing
this is,
through us, Bender? Have you seen it with your own eyes?
you don't see radio waves.
Are you sure it's happening?
There could be a small chance it's not, but yeah, I'm pretty sure. But it tells you on your phone, like you are getting this transmission from this device onto you. Like it warns you, like it is happening.
Sometimes I have
Also, too,
sometimes I have water bottles that are left in the car too long, and I drink the water out of the plastic.
Quinn, are you just trolling me now? Like,
Yes, I am.
are you just really going to leave me in the microplastics next? Like, yeah, I know about that too. Yes, yes, yes. But and I'll be honest with you, I switched over recently from drinking water because I was reading the ingredients on that, and I was like, I don't even know what that is, but it should just say water. And I went to spring and alkaline now. So I've been trying that out here the past few weeks. I think drinking water is probably better than my tap water, but I don't know. I'm like, I don't even want to mess with y'all on that. Yeah, there's all kinds of metals, microplastics, and stuff probably floating in our systems, y'all. I'm just going to be honest with you. They hit us with the chemtrails every day. There's aluminum. There's whatever. There's probably nanobots in us. You know, it's just I don't want to. I'm gonna let the space end on time tonight. So yeah. But I could just do a space and just crappy stuff that's happening. I got a tweet I haven't even sent out yet, where they just show like it's nothing but chemical makeup of bread. Like it wasn't even like, I think it was like wheat, and then everything else was just like some kind of chemical dioxide mix of something that came out as bread. Like it's insane what they're doing to us right now.
I also use 2 packets of fake sugar in my coffee every morning.
You know what? I use cream, and it's got a lot of. We just some vices we're just going to have to just live with. I guess I'm with you on that. You do the fake sugar. I'm gonna do the coffee sweetener. Like I'm just not giving it up. It's the only way I can drink coffee. I shouldn't say that, but it would take a lot of cream and sugar for me to do that, and it's just basically doing the same thing to me anyway. So I might as well get the cool flavor I like. But I have been drinking less coffee, kind of every now and then. But Earth Queen, it's a lot more sense to it. You travel a lot? Have you ever noticed at any point when you were flying in a plane? Have you ever noticed the nose of the plane going down because the earth is round and it's going down. Like if you look, everybody do this right now. You can do this at home, kids. Just sit up straight and then take your whole front of your part of your body and then just lean over and look down. That's exactly what happens to you in a stationary seat in a roller coaster. So the same thing should be happening to you on a plane. And
Oh,
it's
it's
not.
just it's so
I've never
slow. It happens so slowly that you don't feel it. Your body adjusts to it.
if you look at the shape of the earth and you were at the top of it and at the midpoint you're up somewhere, you're at the side of it, you're looking down. You should be looking down into space. You should not feel upright. It's impossible to get to Australia and still feel upright. It does not make mathematical sense. You are at angles.
What I want to know is why you only eat the left side of the Kit Kat.
No, I like the left side.
They're the same.
You've seen the commercial?
No, they're the exact same.
Have you seen the commercial?
No.
No, they had a commercial about the left side, who likes the left side or right side better, but they were the same. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're the same.
Are they?
Yes, they are. They are the exact same.
Try the left side first next time, and then get back to me.
We just need to end the space. This has gone off the chains.
Hey, tonight, I want to thank Queen for all you do. On a serious note, I appreciate you. I never thought, and I also want to thank Nick, Crypto Nick OG, too, as well, for really saving me about 8 hours of research because I got like super overwhelmed when I started looking into how to set up a podcast. There was like 20 different options alone in terms of turning a space into something downloadable and playable, the format it even needed to be in to even think about going to a podcast. And then there's like 80 more podcast options on top of that in terms of that. And then just the absolute rabbit hole of going through and then making that space a video on YouTube has been a journey and has technologically advanced me there. AI may or may not have helped me out with that journey, but in a lot of technical support and a lot of glitches that I just caught and figured out on my own to get there with everything. So, but yeah, Queen, you though, you in particular inspired me to keep pushing forward and making that a reality. And tonight we will upload episode 6, and I want to see if this automatically connects to YouTube now that I've got everything figured out. And if not, no worries. I know how to do it myself at this point, which I had zero knowledge of that, as of 2 months ago. So if you don't think your tweets and tweets like Shayla's, morning thoughts, and you don't think somebody reads those, you don't think that makes an impact on life. If what they say, if you wake up and you can change one person's life, was it worth it? Well, I am that one person for y'all. So for anybody out there listening, keep going, because you never know. I might just pick up on your tweet and get inspired to keep going, because I need a lot of positive reinforcement. Queen, to you. Any final thoughts?
No, just appreciate all you guys sticking with us tonight on our crazy conversations, and looking forward to Gabby's space tomorrow night. Don't know what we're talking about, but I'm excited. I've been loving the series and getting a lot out of it. So excited to be there.
Thank you. I am too as well. Gabby, if you got a space already ready to go, put that down in the comments too, because people do go back and listen to these. Hopefully they'll hear this part and do that for you too. But outside of that, week number 8, episode 8 in the books. Everybody definitely be safe out there in your travels. I know for some still celebrating or previously celebrated Easter yesterday. Happy Easter once again to you. Take care, y'all, and God bless. We'll talk soon.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.